Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're changing things up a little bit. I'm one of those individuals that had gotten a Walther G22 years ago, and that's what this magazine is from. It's a Walther G22 magazine. I had only gotten the two magazines that came with it. Not a big deal for many years, unfortunately, as magazines start wearing out, and I lost the kind of help slider for trying to load this. And then I start looking for additional magazines. But by the time I start looking for new magazines, because I don't go out to the range all that often, I run into a slight problem of they don't make the magazine anymore. They don't actually make the rifle anymore. So now I'm trying to figure out exactly how to get replacement magazines that don't cost well over $100. So in kind of searches on the web and everything else, I start to learn that there is another solution. It's actually the Walther P22 magazine, which starts off looking like this. There is a slight problem though. Even though the magazine itself would fit into the rifle, our little thumb or pinky guard here on the bottom of the butt plate really prevents it from going into the rifle itself. Now, I'm not going to show the rifle. I want to keep this a little bit more YouTube friendly, so hopefully I don't get dinged. That's why we're only going to look at the magazines, and of course you see my Dremel tool in the back. So where the Dremel tool comes in is we have to take this and we have to take that extra piece off. Now, I've already done it to one, and it does fit in there very nicely. So it starts looking a little bit more stout like this. And, rounding it off, now I'm just using a grinding tool on my Black & Decker Dremel tool. It's an RTX. I bought two of them when I got it because I went through a couple Dremel tools already. And the fact that I actually have this nice kind of wand attachment, which has really kind of saved me because in my silliness, I was trying to cut something I shouldn't be trying to cut with a Dremel tool, and I burnt up two different Dremel tools along the way. This does sit in a little on the funky side because when you look at it, the Walther G22 magazine sits on an angle, and this is originally meant, it sits on an angle like that, and this is meant to sit in straight. So it does sit in like this, same way, but it looks a little goofy on the bottom, but it functions fine. That's the important part. This is the same magazine, stamped a little bit differently, but everything else is the same except for the butt plate. And if you're not so concerned about what the butt plate looks like, or if you don't have a 3D printer, because if somebody does, and they printed off a Walther G22 butt plate here, you'd be perfectly fine, but I don't. Well, okay, I lie. I've got a 3D printer, but I haven't used it in so long, and it is quite a few years old. At this point, it's, the software is well out of date, and I really don't feel like trying to go through learning how to do it all over again. So it just sits there collecting dust, and it makes a great shelf for putting Legos on top of. But in the meantime, all you have to do is grind this down. Now, if you see how far back this is ground down in comparison to a standard butt plate. So if I can get a little bit more into the light here, we have this ground down pretty good. I'm going to keep this a shorter video. I'm not going to grind it down in front of you, but I will say grinding it down, you're going to get little chunks off of here. Trying to grind it and make sure that it's going to be good for a regular thumb, so that way if I'm not wearing gloves or something like that, I don't have to worry about getting stuck by some piece of plastic. But like I said, I'm just using a standard little grinder bit on here. Works pretty good. Kind of grinds it down, gets it all nice feeling again, and it functions fine. That's a nice cost savings because instead of sitting there spending well over $100 for a G22, if you can find it, I think I found one on Amazon or on eBay for, I want to say like $120 to $150, and now this is going to be what, $35 or so. So as long as you're still making the P22, if you want to grab one or two extra so you have a spare and you want to just have it. Now, Walther was never going to make a magazine any larger than 10 rounds, which was perfectly fine with me. It's a nice little ball pup rifle. It is a lot of fun. But like I said, the only issue I had is when I started looking for additional magazines, I couldn't find them. So that's my solution to it. Hopefully this helps anyone else that's actually into that same situation. You're trying to figure out where you're going to get some new replacement magazines from. This hopefully gives you a good answer through that. So with that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.